Watch out for Hiltbrand in 107, the CRG, to make a move early on. He wants to get to the lead and lead from the front if possible, if he can. Marta Garcia on the inside of row number 3. Henley leads the field up to the lights. Has he missed the start though? He's going to be side by side with Joyner. Hiltbrand's gone into second spot. Hiltbrand's gone into the lead. What a start by the Spaniard. Hiltbrand now leads. Oh, Bash has come together over the back of Tom Joyner. No, it was Henley in fact. Carol Bash, the world champion, has come together with Henley, who recovers for third spot. A great start by Logan Sargent. The American is up into position number 4. Slides it down the inside ahead of Travis Nuto. Then it's Marta Garcia. What a start by Pedro Hiltbrand, and he's disappearing up the road. The first lap of 20 here in Portugal. 1:07, the last round winner for the CRG team, Pedro Hiltbrand. A brilliant start. Joyner makes an adjustment on the Perilla engine. He's back in second. Then it's Henley, Sargent. As they come up over the line for the first time. Garcia in 5th spot. Just tucked in behind Lorenzo. Travis Nuto has made a good start. Travis Nuto trying the outside line on Sargent. Travis Nuto trying the inside line and goes through on the American. Marta Garcia all over the back of Sargent as well. Can she go up the inside? Oh, she gives him a tap. Says, get on with it, Logan. The leaders are getting away. I want to win this one. I want to win it bad. You're holding me up. Travis Nuto's in front of the both of them. Marta Garcia up the inside. Alexander Smoljar's getting involved in this. What a fight this is turning out to be. Hannes Jenke, the German. He's made a brilliant start. He's into 7th, right behind this battle. Smoljar, Milel, Armstrong in 10th. He's picked up 1 spot. Travis Nuto. Then it's Sargent. Marta Garcia, watch her. She qualified fastest. She's got tremendous speed. There is Noe Milel. It is not the cosmic kart of Carol Bash. Where is the reigning world champion? We're looking for him down through the field. He's down in 22nd spot. Surely his day is over. Carol Bash, after that incident on the opening few corners, coming together with Ben Henley. Yes, he has just set the fastest lap, as you can see at the bottom left of your screen. But he's got to pass 21 karts if he's got any hope of winning here this afternoon. Joyner closes back onto the back of Pedro Hiltbrand. We said he wanted to lead early. We said he wanted to lead from the start. He did just that. From the inside second row of the grid, Pedro Hiltbrand will lead them. Again, across the line for the 3rd time. The Brits, Joyner and Henley. The inside rear of Hiltbrand CRG just lifts nicely. He's vulnerable though. Joyner's in the slipstream. Flat out through turn number 1, 142 k's an hour. Watch Joyner down the inside. Tom Joyner leads it, puts Hiltbrand back to second. Nicely done by Tom. Ben Henley watches on. He's just hit the fastest lap. He's got the benefit of chasing the 2 leaders. Brilliant move down the inside by Tom Joyner. Nothing Hiltbrand could do. He knew it. As Joyner was passing him, he was already looking behind, saying, hey, I have to concede this. I just hope Ben Henley is too far back that he doesn't follow his countryman through. Indeed, he's not. The gap is about 4 or 5 kart lengths. Then we go back to Lorenzo Travisanuto. He's driving a brilliant race in 4th spot ahead of Marta Garcia Lopez. Let's see what the young girl from Valencia has got aboard that Perilla-powered Evo kart. There's Henley going through in the 102 Jules Bianchi kart. Travisanuto goes very wide. A big gap back to Marta Garcia though. Joyner. Hiltbrand though has recovered. Had the benefit of the slipstream that time round. Then we go back to Travisanuto. So the Spaniard sandwiched in between the 2 British drivers. Joyner first, Henley 3rd. Hiltbrand, winner of the last round in sensational circumstances in Adria. He is 2nd. It was cold and raining on that day a month ago. Very different conditions here this afternoon. In fact, they raced that final on the Vega wets. No chance of that here in Portimao. It's the Vega slicks all the way as Joyner leads them up the hill. very gradual movements on the steering wheel. There is Henley once again in third spot. And the Jules Bianchi number 17 tribute chassis from Mad Croc promotion team. Travis Nuto, Garcia, Smolja. Armstrong now goes through. Nicely done by the Kiwi. He takes Logan Sargent. That puts Marcus up into 7th spot. In fact, he might even be 6th. I think Alexander Smolja, the Russian, also got caught out with that move by Marcus. It is very, very late in the evening. In fact, it's early Monday morning for those of us watching live on CIKFIA.tv. Your boy Marcus, he's dragging himself slowly into this battle. He is still stuck behind the Russian Smolja. So we go back to the leaders. Tom Joyner, professional racing driver with the TKART racing team. Look at the kart buck over those bumps here in Portimao onto the straight. Hiltbrand is still too far back. There's Travis Nuto for Ward Racing, the team out of Sweden. He's doing a superb job in position number 4. Here comes Marta. She's just set the fastest lap of the race. Can she put herself up onto the podium? The field come up into the turn 8 hairpin. Well, as with Adria, it's turning into a sedate affair, but wait until the final few laps as the sportsmanship warning flag comes out for the young German David Brinkman, who's stuck down there in 24th spot, just ahead of the French driver Alexander Gadouin, and behind Jacopo Gueno, the driver from the Emirates. Al Kubasi just ahead of that battle, but behind Lucas Legere. Also, Henley, he's in the slipstream though. He's really close to the back of Hiltbrand. There goes Marta Garcia. She makes an adjustment on that Perilla engine. Watch out for Henley. Down the inside of turn number 2. It is now a British 1 and 2. If I'm not mistaken, these two drivers were on the top of the podium exactly 12 months ago. Is it turning into a carbon copy repeat? Well, let's see if Pedro Hiltbrand has anything to say about it. It's been pushed back to 3rd as Marta gets very close to the back of Lorenzo Travisanuto for 4th spot. They come up the hill, Hiltbrand. You can just hear the Vega tyres screeching, searching for grip. Garcia is getting very close to the back of Travisanuto. There she is. Still about 2 or 3 kart lengths back, but she's got to run as we take a look at the replay. Nicely done by the Englishman, the Mad Croc Jules Bianchi, number 17. You can see it on the back of his race suit. The tribute chassis to the former Marussia Grand Prix driver. Jules, of course, winner of the first WSK International Series back in 2005. And a nice tribute touch from the Mad Croc team, of which he was associated with for many years. The project overseen by Armando Fellini and the late Jules' father, Philippe. As we watch Marta Garcia, she had to think about it. She's very close to the back of the Ward Racing driver, Lorenzo Travisanuto. An incident further back in the field, David Brinkman and Alexander Gadouin, they're out of this one. Watch Garcia down the inside. There she goes into 4th spot. Well, is this the start of a recovery? Alexander Smolja, the other Ward Racing driver, on the back of his teammate. There he is. So Travisanuto is 5th. We take a look at the replay. Nicely done at the end of the Vegas sweeper. Look at her left arm outstretched. She sits low in that kart as Smolja also takes Travisanuto. Travisanuto, as he was being passed, looked behind him and said, no, no, no. I've lost 2 places in 2 laps. Less than, in fact. He was in 4th. He was tapping on the door of the podium. He's now back to 6th. Next in line is Pavel Tontari, Marcus Armstrong, Christian Lundgaard with a brilliant drive. The Dane, oh, can he put himself up on the podium? He's come from grid number 21. Christian Lundgaard in the Ricardo kart is now in 9th. He's starting to chase down Marcus Armstrong, the flying Kiwi, who's 1 spot ahead of him in 8th. Pedro Hiltbrand, the 107, too far back to get the advantage of a slipstream. Another adjustment on the carburetor. There's Christian Lundgaard just going through now. right behind Marcus Armstrong, who's tucked in right on the tail of Pavo Tontori. The British drivers 1 and 2, the Spaniard Pedro Hilbrand. This is exactly half race distance. It is not over yet, folks, not by a long shot. Joyner up into the turn 8 hairpin. Henley, smooth as you like. Hilbrand led the opening 3 laps. He has been pushed back to third, but he's not really losing too much time to the 2 Englishmen immediately in front of him. Let's see if he can drag himself a little bit closer to Henley to at least get the advantage of the slipstream. Onto the start-finish straight. 142 k's an hour. Marta Garcia has made short work of Smoljan, Travis Nuto, Tontori, Armstrong, the Daniel Ricciardo kart of Christian Lundgaard into 9th, ahead of Hannes Janka. You just saw Bent Fiscal going through. We've lost a few drivers already. Unfortunately, Logan Sargent is out of this one. He is a retirement, as is the German driver Felix Arnold. Taimo Kumanshashi from the Emirates is out. Jorge Pescador's weekend has gone from bad to worse. The Spaniard is a retirement, along with Constella Lapalainen, Martin Van Leven, Jean-Baptiste Minoer, and Rafael Villanueva. So 8.5 laps to go for Tom Joyner. Deja vu in a sense, because it was almost this order 12 months ago. Garcia in 4th spot. She's getting ever so closer as Henley sets another fastest lap of the race. He's done a 56.284, immediately matched by Tom Joyner. The question is, can Garcia drag herself into this fight? There is still the podium, at least, to come. If she can just get one of these drivers in front of her. The gap is 0.8 of a second between Hilbrand in 3rd and Garcia in 4th spot. Clement Novalak doing a nice job. The Swiss-born Brit has come from grid 28 to be knocking on the door of the top 10. Clement is in 11th, one behind the German Hannes Janka. It's been a faultless drive so far. Hilbrand cannot bridge the gap. He cannot get close enough to be in the slipstream. Henley looks behind him. Hilbrand's too far back. That gives him a little bit of breathing space as Travis Sanuto goes through to at least concentrate on attacking Joyner, who gets it very sideways going into turn number 2 and 3. You saw him correct the opposite lock. David Brinkman flashes by at the bottom of your screen. The German down in 23rd spot, not having a good weekend at all. So Hilbrand has dropped off quite a bit. It'll be interesting to see if this is how they finish. Will it be a gentlemanly race to the flag in the great English tradition, or will it be a dogfight? We've got 6.5 laps to go, the 3rd round of the Euro Champs. The 2013 World Champion Tom Joyner and the reigning European Champion Ben Henley. Hilbrand still doggedly in 3rd spot. Garcia in 4th. Smolja, the Russian. Travis Nuto. Pavo Tontori, the Finnish driver, who must be sweltering in these conditions, as Carol Bash fights his way up through the field after coming together with the driver on the center of your screen now, Ben Henley, on turn at number 3 of the opening lap. Carol Bash dropped down to 22nd. The reigning world champion is still stuck down in 13th. So Englishmen running 1 and 2. Then the Spaniards, Hilbrand and Garcia Lopez, 3rd and 4th. 5 laps to go at the end of this one. Henley has dropped off Hilbrand. He's driving as hard as he possibly can. Down behind the steering wheel, trying to get the aero advantage. Marta Garcia makes an adjustment on that Perilla engine. Alexander Smolja, the Russians, doing a brilliant job in position number 5. The Ward Racing SMP team driver. Just ahead of Travis Nuto, Marcus Armstrong. Having a great race in 7th. He is off the podium. Remember, he won in Kristianstad, the KF final last year. but he's back in 7th, ahead of Christian Lundgaard, who's got past Hannes Janka. Christian Lundgaard from grid number 21, absolutely flying. He is in 8th. Well, this race, regardless, is going to have a huge effect on the championship. Carol Bash led on 76 points going into this one from Logan Sargent. Bash is down in 13th. Sargent is out. Joyner, who leads the race, he was 3rd in the series. You would think he will come out of the Portimao round of the series in the lead. Lundgaard now on the tail of Marcus Armstrong. There he goes. They flash by at the bottom of your screen just ahead of Hannes Janka. There was Carol Bash. Milel also going through. 4 laps to go. The final. It's turning into a nail-biter. Ben Henley driving the wheels off this machine, trying to hunt down his countryman, Tom Joyner, who's driven a faultless race. Just let the Zanardi kart drift into turn number 8. Leads them down the hill into the Vega sweeper, into the Lenzo kart curves. Here in the sunshine of Portugal, Henley is closing up on him, definitely. Marta Garcia Lopez. She's also starting to catch her countryman Pedro Hilbrand. An incident further back in the field with David Brinkman and Alexander Gadouin. Across the line with 3 laps to go. Hilbrand, he's on the podium, but he'll have to keep driving as hard as he possibly can because Marta is coming for him. There's Henley. He's closed the gap. It's 0.3 of a second. As with Adria, nothing happened for 17 laps, and then the race starts to come alive. I don't need to tell you the gap. You can see it on your screen. It's only about 2 or 3 kart lengths. Henley, he closes up into the turn 8 hairpin. He'll be in the slipstream as they come onto the straight. Tom Joyner, as smooth as you like, on the Vega rubber line. Down into the Vega sweeper appropriately enough. Can he get at least in the slipstream? Look at Henley lean into the corner. He's catching his countryman. Joyner a little bit wide in the Zanardi kart. He'll get a good run coming onto the straight, just kisses the ripple strip. Ben Henley, is he close enough to be in the slipstream? Almost, almost. Joyner, adjust the carburetor. Here comes Ben Henley with 2 laps to go. He's definitely going to get in the slipstream now as they touch 142 kilometers an hour here in Portugal. Hilbrand back in 3rd spot. Marta Garcia, she hasn't given up on the podium either. She's catching Pedro very, very quickly. 1.5 laps to go. The gap is down to 0.2 of a second. Henley took a 10th out of his countryman last time round. But is he close enough to make a move? He will be close enough to at least get the slipstream. It's now or never for the reigning European champion, Ben Henley. In the Jules Bianchi 17 Tribute chassis, look at him lean into the corner. He'll get a good run coming up the hill, a little bit tighter of a line. Joyner uses the ripple strip. Here comes Henley. It's Perillo Power versus TM. The last lap board comes out. Can he hang on? He's too far back. Joyner looks behind him. Ben Henley is coming though. It is England 1 and 2. But will it be Joyner or will it be Henley? Down under brakes. Look how nervous the kart is. The right rear Vega skips off the ground. Marta Garcia is now all over the back of Hilbrand for the final podium position. Joyner, Henley, I think he's too far back. It's still 0.2 of a second. This is the real last passing opportunity. Henley's still definitely too far back. Joyner, he's not likely to make a mistake. Remember, he's the 2013 world champion. Ben Henley, the reigning European champion. He looks behind him. Henley can't do it. The gap is too much. He's slow out of these few corners. He's going to do it. The 2013 world champion rounds the final few corners. The checkered flag comes out. 48 hours after England leave the EU, it is Britain 1 and 2 here in Portugal. Unbelievable stuff here. Joyner has won. England 1 and 2. Hilbrand 3rd. The final spot on the podium. He just holds off his countrywoman Marta Garcia Lopez by 0.27 of a second. A brilliant drive by Alexander Smoljar. 5th. Head of Travis Anuto. How about Christian Lundgaard from grid number 21? He came from the clouds in the Ricardo kart to finish in position number